For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za. Only 2 weeks left in the year 2023. Now, interestingly, Mamelodi Sundowns are leading the log in the DStv Premiership, and they've opened, I think, with 11 or 12 matches in a row, wins. So, this will be maybe one of their toughest fixtures in terms of can they be able to maintain that? Can they win another one, because it's very abnormal for someone to win 15 matches in a row. You know, you can be unbeaten, draw some matches. Can they play against Cape Town City and ensure that they still continue to win? They won, of course, against Pyramids on Tuesday. Good goal by Utebogo Mokoena. Mr. Tso, my analyst, of course, and we're looking into this weekend's fixtures. Let's start with the Sundowns game, Cape Town City. It's not going to be easy for them to continue to win. In fact, I can understand if it's a draw. I don't think that Cape Town City would win, but anything could happen. There's a lot of travelling in that Sundowns squad. They are a very, very, very difficult team. But for them to continue to win every game is almost impossible, but maybe they could continue.
Mr. Kunjani ngibulisa wena mfethu ngibulisa Justice ngibulisa Juna ngibulisa namakhaya then support njalo la iDiskiTV nje njengoba njalo akuchiki futhi. Yes sir. Yeah, Mr. K, we know it's going to be a very tough one. Actually, it's always a tough one playing against Cape Town City. And yeah, Mr. K, like I said it before, I'm still going to say it again. Let everyone prepare themselves to give these guys the trophy. I'm telling you.
I know I think that is much obvious. Yeah. There are interesting questions along this road. Okay, clearly these guys are winning. Yeah. Now that we know that, there are interesting questions to ask. There's an underrated season in Sundowns where they won the league with only one loss. Only one. Where Kaizer Chiefs beat them 2-1. And I think they came back from behind. It was 1-0. And then they came back. It was 2-1. And I remember Mangoba was so pissed off. Like you could see he's angry. And even in his post-match, he's angry because they were going for that record of winning the league invincible. Bangakshai, I'm a throne, I'm a win pel. Now, I don't know if this will be the season for them to do that, but they almost did it in 2021. What do you think these guys can achieve? Even do you think they will continue winning even ukuvula iligi with 15 matches in a row, bewin njalo 11, 12, 13 matches? Because I think it's almost an impossible record. Even for teams like Bayern Munich, it's very difficult.
Thank you. The thing is that it's possible for them to go all the way. Why? Because
go all the way in what? So
go all the way to win the league without be defeated by any team. Because I've seen our coaches. Our coaches, they, I would say, from my point of view, they are the ones that are letting us down. I don't wish a bad thing to Sundowns, or I don't wish them badly. But playing in the league, they need to challenge. They need to showcase in terms of what do they have in that dressing room, the type of players that they've got, and the way they've planned for the games. Because for me, they make it easier for Sundowns. They always make it easier for them, because once you go and defend, it's something that I wanna show people, and some coaches maybe they will learn from what I'm saying. Mr. Nkeu, when you say everyone behind the ball, then calculate how many players that it will be in your half. 21 players in your half. Can you maintain in terms of really defending everything when everyone is in your half? One or another, there will be that split pass that everyone will look around and say, I thought you're going to carry it, I thought you're going to carry it, I thought you're going to carry it, and then it's a goal. So, but when you open a game, yes, defend wisely, but don't bring everyone back. Remember that when you defend, there's one thing I always say, you're going to get the ball one way or another. What are you going to do with that ball? Because now everyone is defending. When they get a ball, they can't even get out of that situation, because everyone is here. When everyone is here, I'll go on, because Sundowns, what they do, very, very good. And I always say, Sundowns, when they attack, they are also as good as defending. Because when they attack, when they've got a ball, they support each other there, they play. When they lose the ball, they squeeze. So when now you defend with everyone, when Sundowns have lose the ball, they lose the ball again, Lapaya. They squeeze you also there. So we're Pumaranjan. So that's one thing that I'm worried with these teams as now in terms of how our coaches they do. I hope Eric always come with tricky plans, and he does give Sundowns a headache. The only thing is that the last 20 minutes, that's where his teams always collapse.
Do you think Sundowns will, at some point, given that it's been CAF, it's a game every 3 days, to put it simply, a game every 3 days. Don't you think there will be one game where there will be a lapse? Although it's difficult because even midweek, like game on the Pyramids, if you remember, Umukwana went out injured in that game after scoring that goal, and then Bongani Zungu, damn, like he picked it up. He picked it up, and I remember even seeing Masego. There was a moment where he was running so quickly. I'm like, oh, he has so much praise. And you look at everyone around the team. My suspicion is that at some point, it will not be a drop of form because that's a quality team, but it will be the body saying to you that, ish, we've been paying 3, so they have to manage it very well. But anyways, so it's a long-winded question. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday between Cape Town City and Sundowns?
Yeah, Mr. A very tough one, but always Sundowns always going to have an upper hand, Mr. K, because any player, even the ones that they didn't play on Tuesday, when they come in, they play as if they've been playing for the whole season, and that's a tricky one for everyone that is going to play against Sundowns, because you don't know who are you going to face on the day, because he knows how to balance his team, Roland, and he balances his team very well, and everyone that comes in, they always come in and give a good fight. One thing that I was worried, cool, but I think on Tuesday it makes a difference, and that's one thing that I always say to him: be careful when you make changes, because every time when you make changes, they're letting you down. Because now you see opponents, they're coming to you. But on Tuesday, Zungu, when he came in, oh, well. So, Zungu Magalanda again, then I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. I'll give it to Sundowns. 2-1. As Cape Town City, they're a good team. Eric has got a very good team. They can score also. But Sundowns, I'll give it to Sundowns 2-1.
All right, we almost have a full complement of fixtures in the DSTV Premiership, with maybe one exception. I think there was one game postponed. Skukune was in continental football, so they were supposed to play today, but I think that's been postponed maybe to next week. If I stand to be corrected on this, but they were supposed to be playing today at 5 p.m. I think that's the one game. But everyone else, I think, is going to play. One of those, everyone else, will be Kaizer Chiefs playing against Richards Bay. I remember 2 or 3 years back when Richards Bay were in the National First Division, Kanye Samai was still playing for them, Austin Dube was still playing for them, and we were starting iDiskiTV, and so was part of the team, Tukutuk Makanye part of the team, Junior Kanye was part of the team as well. And I think that day in the Nedbank Cup, Richards Bay knocked out Kaizer Chiefs in the Nedbank Cup. That's a different Richards Bay, and I think that was a Richards Bay Kapitso. They were trying to play football. They were trying to have moments where they attack. This one is a completely different one because even from a coaching point of view, there is a bit of let's just wait and sit back and absorb pressure, and if we have a moment of counter, then we can counter. Their mindset is to not lose matches, although they lose many of them. They play not to lose instead of playing to win. Kaizer Chiefs, on the other hand, they are a mid-table team. It always depends on whoever is in front of them dropping points. Abapulukwana City and Golden Arrows are starting to drop points. Therefore, naturally, if Chiefs wins 1 or 2, then they rise up above them. The other thing that's interesting at Chiefs is that I think there's starting to be an acceptance that coach Kevin Johnson is going to coach until the end of the season. Initially, we thought interim because that's what they called him, and we thought interim caretaker usually lasts for a week or 2 or 3 whilst they are interviewing other coaches. It is starting to look like he's going to be there until the end of the season. That means for himself, there's a point of, okay, I have something to work with here. I can push, and it's like an audition. I can push until the end of the season. So he's settled maybe a bit of calmness about the way he approaches his job as well. Doesn't mean on the field there's still a lot of things to fix as well. I'm trying to provide context here between these two teams. Mr. So-and-so, for you, Chiefs versus Richards Bay, the stakes are very high. Richards Bay needs to start picking up points. Kaizer Chiefs, they have a coach now who thinks is going to last until the end of the season. Well, how do you see that game?
That's a tricky one, Mr. Ngeo, because the record says Richards Bay with a good coach, they've won.
Before?
Yes, before with a good coach, because they were playing football and they managed to win. But now I am worried in Richards Bay because Kaitambo, he's a typical defender naturally, and he just even instilled that to his players in terms of defend. But my worry is that, Mr. Nkewa, again, you will defend and get a ball. What are you going to do with that ball? Yeah. Because now he's got decent players. Look, Mr. Nkewa, he's got, and if you can play those boys, yes, everyone is to work hard, Mr. Nkewa, in terms of when we lose the ball, where to press, when not to press, cover which spaces, which positions. But now when you've got a ball, know which players are you going to use to get out of that danger zone, or a player that you know that if you play him that ball, he's the one that's going to make things happen for us, create a chance or whatever the case may be. Because when you go to Pants, you still have Muhomi, Lapayana, and then this Mbutuma. Put Sundowns as a top man. He's big, he's tall. Make the defenders not to feel comfortable, because Mbutuma, what he's good at, he can run. He can run both sides and all of that. But remember that when you don't have anyone in the box, then chances for you to get a goal are very slim. So put Sundowns and Lapan, allow the boy to play on the left, and they allow Pansi Lapan to play him on the right, because I can see Coach Kaitan, he's not even willing to play Pansi here in the midfield and play him home. You cannot have everyone grinding in the midfield. Sometimes you need somebody that will take it and polish, and put it on top of the table. So everyone in that team, all of them, he wants them to grind and grind. No one is ready to say, after grinding, give it to me so that I can polish. Yes, I mean, you need a thinker. Mr. Nkewa, in football, you must have a thinker. When I say a thinker, you need a player that whatever you do, you need to plan around that player to say, whatever we do, we need to give it to this boy, so that this boy, he needs to make things happen for us. So Richards Bay, they don't have that. I'm a coach for life.
Yeah. Well, let me just say before you say anything.
Yeah.
Just like I said with Pirates and Golden Arrows. Yeah. This is a game that I expect Kaizer Chiefs to win. This is a game it's the second worst team in the league. It's the Richards Bay that is anti-football. They don't want to play football. It's like they can't wait to get out of that field. The way that they are playing at the moment. So you're supposed to beat them. It doesn't mean that you're always going to win. Sundowns supposed to beat Cape Town Spurs. Like on the strength of probabilities and the strength of your squad, you should beat them. So whatever happens with Chiefs, I suppose it's an expectation that they should beat them. Delela, it is about the fact that you, a heavyweight, are playing against a lightweight. Yeah. It's a mismatch. Second worst team in the league, so you're supposed to beat them.
Yeah, being Melana now, Mr. Nkewa, yeah, way back. I guarantee it's a
currently Richards Bay is the second worst team in the league. I'm not talking about Chiefs historically. There are teams in the league that Ajax Cape Town, Cape Town Spurs, you are supposed to beat them. Up until they start improving and they start picking up points, you are supposed to beat that team. Mabekshire, then that means something is wrong. Even these ones, they are playing anti-football. Chiefs played against Swallows, they won that game somehow. And it's not like they were under pressure. So there will be teams that you are going to beat over the course of 30 matches in a season. You won 7 and you draw 11 and you lost 8. There will always be 7 teams that you will beat. Yeah. Even if it's a mediocre season, there will be at least 7 teams that are worse than you, that are better. If you go number 8, then you should go to number 10 or 11 or 12. At least you are better than them. So they should beat this one. I don't know if I'm exaggerating.
No, Mr. Nkewa, it should be like that. But, sometimes it goes again to say how do they plan for that for those young teams, because sometimes Nalama team now, I think now they are in a position where they are not scared of facing the big teams. I mean, look at just be how they've beat Paris with cup game. So it wants us something good. If they will undermine these small teams, they'll be hammered. You know, so now Chiefs, they need to really plan very well. Because if they're not going to plan very well, they'll be surprised. Because yes, football here, just pay. It's not really making me happy knowing Richards Bay way back and knowing the owner of the team, Uguti, what type of a person are you in terms of Ipola and Ayaltandayo. But how his team is playing, I doubt Uguti is happy. But yes. The Chiefs have to win. They have to win. Is looking at the Richards Bay the way Badalanga Con. But now when you play against them, they are good at sitting at the back. As much as they're conceding, but they are also good in terms of they can get it right in defending. Are the Chiefs ready in terms of really unlocking that defense? Yeah, Richards Bay. Because that's another key thing. Yes, they have to win. But how? Are they ready to say, Kaizer, this is how he plays, we are defender, how can we crack that defense? Are we going to use the width? Are we going to use the midfield here? Are we going to play, behind the defense? How are we going to unlock that defense? It goes back to how Chiefs have planned. But nevertheless, no, I will favor Chiefs. Let me give them 2-1 also.
WSP, thank you very much. So, WSP.co.za, Kaizer Chiefs winning, Sundowns winning. That's all predictions. You can go to WSP.co.za if you want to make some money betting this weekend. iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you very much for watching us.